Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to our teacher, most venerable Pinnath Lokusan Mahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, now when we live in this life, we are going to experience many kind of suffering, right? What are the suffering we are experiencing? We are experiencing aging, right? We are getting older, right? And not just getting older, we are getting sick. And next thing, we have to associate with the things we don't like, and we have to associate the people we don't like, and we have to separate from the loved ones and loved things, right? And not only that, then we have to experience the death, right? We have to say goodbye to this body and go to somewhere else. All these things are called suffering. Okay? And you know that nobody can escape from this one, right? Can anybody escape from death? No, nobody can escape. People don't like to speak about death, right? They're afraid to talk about death. They don't like to see the reality of this life. However, Buddha opened up all those things. Buddha understood all those things. And he explained and how to eradicate all these kind of suffering, right? And sometimes, you know, that when you are getting older, you don't like to get older, right? Do you like to get older? No, nobody likes. Okay. So when you're getting older, what you are experiencing? You get gray hair, wrinkles, and you cannot walk earlier, and you can do the things like earlier, right? And not only that, you are getting sick. Then you get sick. So what will happen? So you cannot do the things, and you have to experience the things what we are, you know, we have to experience the things we don't like, right? We think that it's supposed to be in this way, but however, it doesn't happen that way, right? It happens some another way. Okay, we don't like that, right? Okay, we have to separate from the loud ones and loud things. Do we like to separate from loud one and loud things? We don't like. So, however, we have to experience those things, even though we like it or not, right? Then Buddha analyzed that why is the reason for this, all these things? What is the resource? What is the origin? What is the source? Why it is happening, right? Um, and so how it is produced, where, you know, that all these things, he did the analysis. Now, today we are going to learn the important sutta. Buddha explained what is, right? So, and so I'm going to share with you that sutta, which is in Samyutta Nikaya, right? Samyutta Nikaya. In this book, which is called the Connected Discourses. Yeah. The Connected Discourses, and that is called thorough investigation, right? This is not the just investigation. What is that called? Thorough investigation, not just investigation. Okay. So I'm going to, because I have hard copy as well, I'm going to share with you the soft copy, right? Bhikkhu Bodhibhante's translation. This is the sutta. It's called thorough investigation, right? And So thorough investigation. Then that time, and the Blessed One, why we call that, okay, that I can see the newcomers as well. Why it is called thus have I heard? When you read the sutta, why it's called thus have I heard? Right?
Because Ananda Bhante is reciting at the first time when they got together. So he says, "Thus have I heard the Buddha's words." So I think that's why they use "Thus have I heard."
Yeah, the Ananda Bhante was the one who had great memory capacity, and he was the one memorized all these suttas. And after Buddha attained Parinibbana, after 3 months, they conducted Sangha Council. The Ananda Bhante chanted all these suttas, right? That's why every sutta, when you read most of the suttas, Anguttara Nikaya and Samyutta Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, you will see that thus have I heard. This is the way I heard from the Buddha, because he memorized all these suttas. Okay? And on one occasion, is there any possibility that he memorized something wrong? People say that. So who selected in order to memorize all these suttas? Ananda Bhante is the one who had great memory capacity. Who selected? Right? Who selected?
Buddha,
No,
right? Didn't the Buddha say to
it was
Ananda?
Buddha selected. Ananda Bhante, you are the one who had the great memory capacity after me. So then if they are saying that this is wrong, that means who made the mistake? Buddha made the mistake. So unknowingly they are complaining to Buddha, right? So can that after completing all these perfections and get the great wisdom, can they make the mistake? No, right? So Buddhas are not like that. Buddhas are error-free, right? And so and Buddha selected that to memorize all these things. To why it is passing to the next generation, right? So usually that other Buddhas dispensation, like Kasyapa Buddha and also and Kakusanda, Konagama, other Buddhas, when the Buddhas attain Parinibbana, very soon though their Buddhas dispensation disappear, right? Because they live longer. Like Kasyapa Buddha, that time 20,000 years people live. Some people they don't believe that people can live this kind of longer. There was a research in America, so they tested that this organ. They found that 100,000 years they can keep that. Actually, in the ancient time, people lived longer time, more than 100,000 years. People don't die that time, right? So later on, because of the unwholesome things, people their lifespan start to reduce. So that time, like then Kasyapa Buddha's time 20,000, and Kapusanda Buddha's time it's 40,000. Konagama Buddha's time 30,000, right? And also 80,000, 100,000, more than 100,000. There are other Buddhas like Vipassi Buddha's time. People live for 80,000 years, right? So the longer time. And so that time, because that Buddha was present and they taught the Dhamma. So there are so many people attain Parinibbana, attain enlightenment. So therefore, no need to stay the Dhamma, no need to stay because the Buddha dispensation finished very soon. But not our Buddha. Our Buddha lived our Gautam Buddha lived only 80 years, right? The previous Buddha, like Vipassi Buddha, 80,000 years, right? Very short period of time. Therefore, after Buddha attained Parinibbana, in order to exist this Dhamma, because Buddha selected some monk to memorize all this Dhamma and to transform the knowledge for the future generation. This will be existing another 2,400 years. Okay, so but the level of understanding slowly will be reducing. Okay, and not like that, not like Buddha's time. Okay, that time Buddha was living at Savat in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's park. There the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus thus, when bhikkhus said bhikkhus, right? Buddha said bhikkhus. Then everybody replied, saying, Venerable Sir. Those bhikkhus replied, the Blessed One said this. Blessed One asked this, and bhikkhus, when a bhikkhu is making a thorough investigation, in what way should he thoroughly investigate for utterly complete destruction of suffering? Now we discuss about the suffering. What is the suffering? Aging, right? Sickness, death, separation from loved ones, engagement with encounter with unwanted things and unwanted people, right? So those things are suffering. And he briefed all the suffering, which is called 5 aggregates of clinging. Okay. And for utterly complete destruction of suffering, the way he thoroughly investigates, there's a way thoroughly we investigate to destroy all the suffering, to understand the Four Noble Truths, right? And this is the way. Okay. Now, all the Bhante said, Venerable Sir, our teachings are rooted in the Blessed One, guided by Blessed One. Take resource in the Blessed One. It would be good if the Blessed One would clear up the meaning of this statement, right? Having heard it from you, and the bhikkhus will remember it, right? So please, therefore, please tell us. Then listen. Then that time Buddha said, okay, they listen and attend closely because I will speak. Okay. Now, Buddha is going to uh, explain about all the bhikkhus said, yes, Venerable Sir, the bhikkhus replied, the Blessed One said this, right? Still, you can go to India, right, and go to Jetavanaram Monastery. Still, you can see the place Buddha preached this all the suttas, right? Because Jetavanaram Monastery is the place Buddha preached 80% of these teachings. Still, you can see the preaching whole, but it's ruined, right? So then after that, other kings after that in Parinibbana uh, mark that places that you can see the ruined places in Buddha's kutis. Still, you can see the places, right? And you can see you can see the well the Buddha used to use that drink water, but make sure don't drink water from there. It's very poison, right? People drank water, they got sick, right? So, and that power is not there anymore. And but you can see that some people went there, right? You saw that. You saw. So then Buddha said, here because when he makes a thorough investigation, a bhikkhu thoroughly investigate us. This is the way that we have to thoroughly investigate. This is like you can practice like a meditation. So Buddha advised to practice this meditation. You can memorize this one in Pali language. You can memorize in English, right? You can practice this one in ascending and descending order, right? It is very important. By when you practice that, you will slowly it will go to understanding, right? Understanding of the Four Noble Truths, understanding of that all the mass of suffering, and eventually you will understand fully. Okay. Here, because when he makes a thorough investigation, bhikkhu thoroughly investigate thus the many diverse kind of suffering that arise in the world, headed by aging and death. Right. So it summarized that aging, and it does not explain in detail, but aging and death, that aging and death, which kind of things we have to face, right? If you are like now, um, we a little bit of matured, you know that which kind of suffering you have to experience, okay? And what is the source of this suffering? What is its origin? From what is it born and produced? When what exists, does aging and death come to be? And when what does not exist, does aging and death not come to be? Okay, now in order to understand, because there are some new people as well, so we'll come back to this sutta again. I will go to another things to show you how it goes, right? Okay. paticca samuppada. The dependent origination in Pali, it is called paticca samuppada. It's important that you understand paticca samuppada, all these details. Okay. If you don't see, cannot see, you can come here. Right. So paticca samuppada. So if I go to next slide, hope you can see. 1 second to see better. So aging and death. And here Buddha is trying to explain all these, why it is happening. What is the source and what is its origin, this aging and death, right? Why we experience all these things? Because of the birth. Because we were born, we are experiencing all these things. If we are not born, we are not going to experience all those things. Okay? So, birth, because of the birth. So then Buddha explained that birth, there are 4 types of birth. What are the four types? The beings will be born into eggs. That's called egg-born. And beings will be born into moisture environment. Have you seen that moisture environment? There's worms and there's so many. That's called moisture-born. And then after that, you can see womb-born and also spontaneous-born. What is the meaning of spontaneous-born? There is no mother and father, you just appeared there, right? For example, in the Deva world, the heavenly world, there's no mother and father, you just appeared there. So, and the bad world, in the hell, you don't have mother and father because of your bad karma, you appeared there. In hell, in ghost world, you appeared there. In asura world, you appeared there without mother and father, right? And some part of animal world, like Naga world, you appeared there without mother and father. Okay. So, and Brahma world, you appeared there without mother and father. With your good karma, you appeared in the heavenly world or Brahma world. With the bad karma, you appeared in the hell, ghost world, or astral world without mother or father. That is called spontaneous born. In human world, very less percentage can be seen. 0.001, I think, very less percentage. Sometimes you can see that there's a baby and no mother and father, right? So people think that somebody left. There's a possibility somebody left as well, and also there's a possibility that spontaneous born in the human world. Okay, it happened in the Buddha's time as well, right? For example, Ambapali, right? Ambapali Bhikkhuni, she had a lot of good karma. So she was born into human world without mother and father, right? And so spontaneous born. These are the 4 types of birth. And what is somebody was born into human world, which kind of birth is that? This womb born. Mostly womb born, 99.99% womb born, right? And so animal world, which kind of birth? Womb born or egg born, right? And there's a possibility moisture born as well, right? Some worms. So they are, the birth is the source and its origin. And this is the way it generates. So birth. There are 4 types of birth. It is important to understand that the birth as a reason for aging and death. If there's no birth, we don't experience this one. Even though we wish not to be born, can we achieve that as per our mere wish? No, we cannot achieve that as per our mere wish, right? There's a path to follow. Okay. So then why it is birth, right? Why it is birth? And why somebody will be born into either sensual world. When I say sensual world, we can put the sensual world, all these bad worlds, 4 bad worlds, human worlds, and all the heavenly worlds, 6 heavenly worlds, right? That is called sensual world. Then form world is that there are 16 Brahma worlds. We can put all the 16 Brahma world into form world. Then there are 4 formless world. There's no form there. That's called formless world. All these beings can be born into all these 3 types of world can be put into all these three types. Okay, mostly that form world, spontaneous world, heavenly world. It is a sensual world that is spontaneous born, and form world, that Brahma world, spontaneous born, and also formless world is spontaneous born. Okay, the birth is the reason for aging and death. And why this birth is happening? Why is birth? And there's a reason for this one. When Buddha, before he became Buddha, this is the way that as a bodhisattva he investigated, right? That's how he explained. And not only our Buddha, Gautama Buddha, all the other Buddhas, this is the way they investigated. Okay, they found. And why it is birth? This birth is happening because of arranging of karma, right? Arranging of karma, because there are a karma to be born into another existence that is called what is that called existence. Okay, arranging of karma to be born in the sensual world. The karma will be arranged to be born in sensual world. Karma will be arranged to be born into form world, and karma will be arranged into formless world. All these three types of worlds, right? So then birth is 4 types of birth, and so karma will be arranged to be born into all these births. That is the 3 types of world. Okay, then after thorough investigation, why it is happening all this arranging of karma to be born into a sensual world or form world or a formless world. Okay, now when he was thoroughly investigation, he observed that the clinging, you cling to uh, when to sensual pleasures, right? There are 4 types of clinging. What are the 4 types of clinging? Cling to sensual pleasure and wrong views, behaviors and observance, and the notion of me, mine, and myself. There are 4 types of clinging. We cling to these things. We cling to sensual pleasures. What are the sensual pleasures? We cling to all the forms that we can see from eyes. We cling to all the sensual things we hear from our ears. We cling to smells, tastes, tangibles. So that's called sensual pleasure, right? Because of sensual pleasure, we cling to that. And other one is wrong views. The second one is wrong views. So we have that not the right view, wrong views. And then behavior and observance. So we have that practicing different things to achieve the enlightenment, right? Some people gave up they became totally naked. They think the attachment can be removed, that became naked. So you can see that all the naked ascetics, even recent days, the behavior and observance. Okay, so here behavior and observance. Okay. Okay, so we are talking about. Can you see my screen, right, everybody? And I'm talking here, and the reason for arranging of karma because of the clinging, right? So clinging is that cling to sensual pleasures and wrong views, okay, and behaviors and observance, and the notion of me, mine, and myself. I am mine, myself, you, right? If I say that you have a person, but you cannot take this I am mine, myself, right away you'll that you will say no, it's I am here, right? So this is called clinging. Why it is clinging coming? Because of the craving for sensual pleasure and craving for existence. Existence means because people like to stay forever, right? So, and they like to be born again and again. So that's another way it's craving, right? Craving for existence, cravings for non-existence. People don't like to say exist, right? So therefore, they practice meditation not to feel anything, and they will be born into unconscious world that not to exist, right? Craving for sensual pleasures and craving for existence and craving for non-existence. And why this craving is happening, the reason for this one, what is the source of that? That is feeling for forms, feeling for, that we have feeling for forms, and feeling for sounds, feeling for smells, then feeling for tastes, feeling for tangibles, and feeling for thoughts. Because of the feeling, we get the craving, right? When you have that, for example, when you have the feeling for forms, you develop the craving right away, right? So when you have craving, you have clinging. As soon as you create the clinging, you arrange the karma, right, for existence. As soon as you arrange the karma, so you will be born, right? The birth will be happen, and when the birth is there, so you will, that you have to suffer aging, death, aging and death, lamentation, pain, grief, all these things, right? So this summarize all the aging and death. So this is the reason. So when we go that one by one, okay, so this is the one doesn't change, okay, and aging and death. In Pali, it is called Jara, Marana, Soka, Parideva, Dukkha, Domana, Supayasa. And it is summarized in the Pali, Jara, Marana. Jara, Marana means aging and death. Soka, Parideva. So you have sadness, that you are sorrow, and dukkha, and domanas, all these kind of, pain, grief, lamentation, all these things because of aging and death, right? That is called aging and death. And this is start, aging and death, all these kind of suffering. And why it is happening, all these things? Because of the birth. There are 4 types of birth, because beings can be born into egg-born, moisture-born, womb-born, and spontaneous born. That's all 4 types of birth. What's the reason for birth? What's the source? Where it originated from birth? Because of arranging karma. It is called bhava. In Pali, it is called bhava. So in Pali, it is important that you memorize Pali. Bhava pacchaya jati, jati pacchaya jara marana. Right? So when you understand, there's chanting as well, that you memorize chanting. Somebody, or some of you already memorized, right? Right? Avidya pacchaya sankara, sankara pacchaya vijnana. So make sure you chant that. Open the part of the chanting book, chant, and chant. Okay? So that is the way to memorize that. Arranging of karma, which is called bhava in Pali. So arranging of karma to be born into, we are arranging karma to be born into sensual worlds, because we are in a previous life, we arranged the karma to be born into sensual worlds. That's why we were born into human world, right? So some beings, they were born into sensual world, heavenly world. Some beings, sensual world, they were born into hell, also sensual world. And so ghost world, sensual world, animal world, sensual world, and the sura world. Okay. So to be born into sensual world, we arrange the karma to be born into sensual world. And some beings, they were born into form world. Form world means Brahma world. Okay. So they have that, there's no sensual pleasure. You have that only Brahmas are there, not the Brahmis. There's no female version, only Brahmas. Right, then another one is formless world. So all these 3 worlds, to be born into these 3 worlds, arranging of karma, it's called bhava. Then what is the reason for this karma, bhava, right? Then it will be clinging to sensual pleasure, right? And clinging to wrong views, clinging to behaviors and observances, and notion of me, mine, and myself, clinging. Right? You will break this clinging when you become Sotapanna, stream entrant. As soon as you become Sotapanna, you break that all the clinging. Somebody became enlightened, he breaks everything. So what are the things you will break? Wrong views and behaviors. These two things you will destroy. But you have the sensual pleasure and notion of me, mine, and myself. However, so this is the wrong views and behaviors and observances help you to be born into bad destination. Right? Somebody became Sotapanna, stream entrant, he will have sensual pleasure. That means he will have family life, right? Still, and they have notion of me, mine, and myself. And non-returner, who is anagami, they will destroy all these three things, right? Sensual pleasures, wrong views, behavior, and observances. But still, they have the notion of me, mine, and myself. Therefore, they will be born again. Okay. If somebody destroy all these things, there's no clinging. If there's no clinging, there's no arranging of karma. Right? Anything you want to ask?
That is someone who's very self-centered, only thinking about themselves.
No, I mean that it's also could be self. You remove and all those things. But however, even the sanagami, so non-returners, still they have that that notion. But in that case, so for the anagamis, this is very, very minor. Buddha explained this is the way that let's say that the cloth is there, it's very dirty. Then when those days they put the cow dung to clean the clothes. When you put the cow dung, then even though they remove that some dirt, then some stains, still the smell is coming. Which smell it will give? The smell of cow dung. They have to put in a container of that to make a good smell. They would explain the same like the smell of that. Still not there are no dirts, but still that smell is there. I am myself, right? So this is the one. Okay, then clinging. Why it is clinging, and what is the reason for clinging? Craving, right? Craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for non-existence, right? So existence, they like to be born again and again. Non-existence, they don't like to be born again and again, right? And then people like to enjoy sensual pleasures. They have craving for sensual pleasures. Okay, form, feeling, form, sounds, and smells, taste, tangibles, all these things. Okay, sensual pleasures. Now, what is the reason for craving? Then feeling. Where it is happening? In the space or somewhere in the interim world? Where is happening all these things? Where is happening all those things? It is within ourselves, right? So that's why the eye faculty is there, ear faculty, nose, tongue, body, and form. So that forms. So we have feelings for forms, feeling for sounds, feeling for smells, feeling for taste, tangibles, and thoughts, right? So because of the feeling, we will get the craving, right? Because of the craving, we get the clinging. Because of the clinging, we will get arranging of karma. Because of the arranging of karma, we'll be born. When we were born, so we had to experience all kind of suffering, right? We summarize the suffering means that all the aging and death. Okay, so this is the feelings. Okay, it is always everyone's life happening all those things, right? It is like a thread. If it is broken, it's broken forever. But everything all the time it's happening, right? From eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, right? All these the engine of the existence is happening, right? So all these things happening. And so then the feelings for this one. How we get the feelings? Right? Let's say that we have a feelings that for the forms. How we get the feeling for the forms? Right? Because of the contact, right? Contact with, so how will contact with forms? So we have eyes and we see the forms, and with our attention, it will generate the consciousness of I. That unification of these three, I, form, and consciousness, that is called the contact of the I, right? With sounds, we have ear, and we have sounds is coming from outside. With the attention, it will generate the consciousness in the eye, and unification of these three, this is called the contact of the ear. Okay. And smells, we have nose, that smell is coming from outside, and because with our attention, it will generate our nose consciousness, the unification of that three, which is called the contact of nose. And with that contact, we'll get the, unification of that three, which is called the contact of nose. Then taste, then with the tongue and taste, and consciousness of the tongue, unification of that three, generate the contact of the tongue. And so tangibles, the tangibles will come out for the body, and it will generate the consciousness. But in order to generate consciousness, you have to have attention as well, right? So generate the attention. With the attention, the generate consciousness, the unification of the body and the tangibles and consciousness, the unification of that three, which is called contact of the body and the thoughts, mind, thoughts, and the consciousness, unification of that three, the contact of the mind. Okay, and so why it is happening all these things? What's the reason why it is happening all those things? Then next thing, because of the six sense bases. Why is happening? In our six sense bases, which is called eye faculty, ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, body faculty, and mind faculty. Right? All these faculties, all these things are happening. Because in the faculties, it will happen. Eye faculty with the contact, right? How it happen in contact? In eye faculty, eye, form, and consciousness, unification of that three is contact. With the base of contact, we get the feeling. With the feeling, we get the craving, right? Because of the craving, we get the clinging. When you get the craving, it's all automatically you cling to that. Then you'll arrange the karma to be born into any world, right? When you arrange the karma, you will be born. When you are born, you will be experiencing aging and death, right? Okay, this is six sense bases. And why all those things are happening? Because of mentality and materiality. Sometimes it is called name and form as well. What is mentality? Mentality is in this, when you consider this I, it has the ability to get the feeling, right? Perception, volitional formation, contact, and attention. In this I, it has that. And also in this I, how I formed these two things, name and form, or mentality and materiality. So in this I, you can earth element, you can experience earth element from your eye, from your hand, right? And you can experience water element, watery things in, and you can experience heat element, and air element, you cannot experience that. It's there, right? With the combination of mentality and materiality, that is the base for all the faculties. Eye faculty, ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, body faculty, and mind faculty, right? So those are the faculties that are based on mentality and materiality. Okay, and so why it is happening mentality and materiality? Because of the consciousness. This consciousness in your eye, in our eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body and mind. Right? It's consciousness. And why it is consciousness? What is the reason? What is the cause? And where it is originated from? Right? Consciousness. Then it is volitional formation. It's called sankhara in Pali. Bodily formation. So bodily formation is in-breath and out-breath. Right? In order to create all these consciousness, you have to breathe in and out. If you are not breathing in and out, you are dead. The consciousness won't generate, right? Then verbal formation. Verbal formation, before we think that we have a thought and sustained thought, we talk, okay? And mental formation, feeling and perception, right? So this is called volitional formation. And with this volitional formation, it will generate the consciousness, okay? Right? In this consciousness. And when you have that volitional formation, all these bodily formation, verbal formation, and mental formation. But this sutta, it explains either when you do the certain things, you create the good karma, right? When you do the meritorious things, you create good karma, right? When you do the bad things, you create bad karma. When you practice meditation, you create another karma to be born into so the Brahma world, right? So but in this sutta it explains here, but some other suttas explain this way: and verbal formations, mental formation, feeling and perception, right? Volitional formation, sankhara. What is the reason for sankhara? Okay, there's a reason for sankhara because it's called ignorance, avijja. What is avijja called? Not knowing Four Noble Truths. Okay, not knowing Four Noble Truths. Okay, if I go to previous one, okay. Can you see that, okay, starting from beginning, okay? Why we get aging and death? You can see my cursor, right? We get the aging and death because there's an origin of that, right? The source, there's a source and it has an origin, and there is the place it is born and produced. Where it is born and produced? Because of the birth, right? Birth. And why it is birth? Because why it is happening birth? Because of arranging of karma, right? Why it is arranging of karma? We cling to all these four things, right? Why it is happening cling to four things? Because of the craving. Why it is craving? And because of the feeling, right? And start from here, why it is we are having feeling? Because of the contact, right? So because of the contact, we have a sick. Why it is happening? This all the contact with our six sense bases or six sense faculties. What is the base of, what is the reason, what's source for six sense bases? Mentality and materiality, right? So, and mentality and materiality, the base of mentality and materiality is the consciousness. The reason for consciousness, volitional formations. And reason and source for volitional formation, ignorance, right? Oh, this is the way, and not knowing the Four Noble Truths. And somebody understood Four Noble Truths, they will try to break this, what is happening. And there's no ignorance, there's no volitional formations, and there's no volitional formations, there's no consciousness, there's no consciousness, there's no mentality and materiality. If there's no mentality and materiality, there's no six sense bases, there's no contact, no feeling, and there's no feeling, there's no craving, and no clinging, no arranging of karma, no birth, and no aging and death, right? So this is the way. Okay, now if you go to this one, okay, starting from so this is the way. Go to other way, and aging of death, birth, arranging of karma, right? So This is the way, right? And any question from this one? It's better to have that visual idea in your mind in order to understand this sutta. This sutta is really deep. Okay. So, and any questions from
Yes.
online?
Yes, Bante.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's not exactly related to your Paticca Samuppada, but you briefly touched on it. You talked about Sotapanna, Sakridagami, Anagami. My question is to do with Anagami. In Anagami, why are there 5 realms, like Atopi, Atopa, Sudassa, Sudasi, and Akanita realm? Does it depend on each person's development? Is that why they're born in these 5 different, pure abodes? Like, how does that? I never really understood why there's 5 different. I know there's a special reserved spots for the Anagamis, non-returners, because from there they attain, Parinibbana, they don't come back. But why is it broken down into the 5 levels? Is that according to each person's development? Like how far they've come on the path?
All these pure abodes means that only Anagamis will be born onto that places. What is the Avihya, Atappa, Sudassa, Sudasi, Akanittaka, all these 5 Brahma worlds, right? But some beings will be, beings will become non-returner. They will be born into any Brahma world. We don't know whatever the things. Why is the reason for this to be born into all these Brahma worlds, pure abodes? According to their spiritual faculties, right? What are the spiritual faculties? Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Prajna. Faith, energy, mindfulness, and concentration and wisdom. Because of all these 5 spiritual faculties, they will be born into all these things. Why there are 5? That is the existence of the world. If you ask me that, why 4 bad worlds, not 5? I don't know about that. If you become non-returner, you are done, right? Another point I'm going to explain to you that is important point you raised. And Anagamis, that means non-returners, they destroy all the lower fetters. They have upper fetters. What are the upper fetters? Lust for form, lust for formless, and
conceit,
conceit,
restlessness, regret, and remorse,
and ignorance.
Ignorance. Then why it is lust for form, lust for formless? Let's say this way: somebody became anagami, non-returner. He likes the samadhi, formless samadhi, neither perception nor non-perception. Right? Yeah. So he develops it, and he attached to that. When he is passing away from here, will he be born into 5 abodes, pure abodes, 5 pure abodes, or somewhere else? This person, or somebody who was practicing neither perception nor non-perception, he is not going to be born into pure abodes. He will be born into neither perception nor non-perception world.
Exactly, right? The formless world.
And after passing all these, eons, 84,000 eons in this world,
correct,
what will happen? He is attaining Parinibbana. A special case. And when you say that non-returners, there are 7 types of non-returner, Buddha explained, right? 7 types of non-returners. But initially, if you say the names, there are 5 types, right? What are the 5 types? The Antara Parinibbai, somebody became enlightenment in between. What does in between means? He is exiting from here, but he won't be born into any other place. In between, he will be born. There are 3 cases like that, right? Buddha gave the simile, that Buddha explained the simile. Let's say that entire day, somebody heated some steel rod, right, with the hammer. When he's, hammering it, have you seen that some sparks just came out and disappeared, right? And there's another spark, it will come a little bit up, disappear, right? the samvispark, they will come all the way before it goes to the earth, it will disappear. Buddha explains that three, that Antara Parinibba in this way, right? So if you take that three, and there's another one, he will be born into pure abodes, but he will be living half of that lifespan of that pure abodes, right? Whatever the will be born, he was born. Then this is called Upahacha Parinibbai. Another one is, then somebody was born into that pure abodes, and he will be living more than half of the lifespan.
3/4, yes.
So he will be attaining Parinibban there. That is called Asankara Parinibba. He won't be born into another world. There's another one who will be born into that world, whatever the pure abodes. Then he will be existing entire lifespan there. Then after that, he will be born into another pure abodes. There, he'll put in his effort and he'll be attaining Parinibban. Next one is Uddhan Sota Pitagami. All the 5 pure abodes, he'll be living, so maximum amount of lifespan. How much? The first one is 1,000 eons, the 2,000 eons, then 4,000 eons, 8,000 eons, 16,000 eons, right? He'll be living how long? Then 31,000 eons. So he is attaining Parinibbana. Why is the reason for differences? Because of their difference in their spiritual faculties. Saddha, their faith, energy, mindfulness, and concentration and wisdom. Right? There's differences. All these things, and Buddha could understand. Right? So, and what are the differences of these things? Right? Very, very subtle thing even they explain. Now, another thing, right? Now we discuss about arranging of karma here. Arranging of karma will be born into birth, right? If somebody arranging karma, will be birth, and because of birth, aging of death. So arranging of karma, so that those who are attaining enlightenment in between, they have arranging of karma. They have bhava, right? Because of bhava, they exit from this world, right? In this world, but there's no birth. There's no, because of the arranging of karma, they exit from this world. There's no birth. They'll be attaining Parinibbana in between, right? So, and because they, when you take about upper fetters, right? Their upper fetters are, that they are about to destroy, eradicate, but there's a small amount of upper fetters, right? So these are the ways that that is still, if you understand this structure, it will be really helpful, and to practice this meditation, right? Practice meditation, and also to one day we understood means to understand the these Paticcasamuppada, dependent origination, and we can stop happening, right? So, and what happened that somebody developed that developed 4 noble truths, and somebody became enlightened. They are not going to develop volitional formation, no consciousness, and no mentally and materiality. There's no 6% basis, and so contact, feeling, and also that no craving and clinging, and karma. There's no birth, there's no aging and death. But however, all the enlightened monks, when they are living, after they became enlightened, they feel, right? They feel pleasurable feeling, painful feeling, neither pleasant, no painful feeling. They can feel. However, all these feelings, they don't have craving, right? They experience that feeling until they leave, and they when they attain Parinibbana, that means passing away, their consciousness is not going to go anywhere. But any others, what happened? Their consciousness will be born into any birth, right? So arranging of karma, because they have arranging of karma, but enlightened monks, they don't have. we cannot discuss about an enlightened monks according to this chart. This is for all the regular people in this world. Okay, dependent origination. And Buddha explained that we have to practice this one again and again and again until we understand this, right? So, and that's why that I think we discuss this one, we practice as meditation, right? This also, this sutta, Buddha explained that starting from aging and death and think about the way to arrange that. Okay, so, and what is the resource, what is the source, and what's the source and its origin for aging and death? It's a birth, right? How many types of birth? How many types of birth? 4 types of birth, right? Why is happening in birth? Because of arranging of karma, right? It's called bhava. So to be born into these 3 types of world. Why it is arranging karma? Because of the clinging to 4 things. Clinging to sensual pleasures, strong views and behavior and observances, and also I, mine, and myself view. And why it is happening clinging? Because of the craving. Why it is craving? And because of the feeling, right? Why it is feeling? Why is feeling? Because of the 6 sense bases. Sorry, or because of contact. Why it is contact? Because of 6 sense bases, right? What are the 6 sense bases? Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Why it is 6 sense bases? Because of the mentality and materiality. And so what is mentally and materiality? Because of consciousness. And why it is consciousness? Because of the volitional formation. And why it is volitional formation? Because of the ignorance, not knowing the 4 noble truths, right? And this is the way that's why avidya, this is called ignorance, is avidya paccaya sankara. Volitional formation is sankara. Sankara paccaya vijnana. This is vijnana. Vijnana paccaya, this is nama rupa, name and form or mental and material. Nama rupa paccaya salayatana, 6 sense bases. Salayatana paccaya passo, contact. Passa paccaya vedana, feeling. And vedana paccaya tanha, craving. Tanha paccaya upadana, clinging. Upadana paccaya bhava. Bhava paccaya jati, means birth. Jati paccaya jara marana. So when you take the Parita chant in book, when you start to chant, this is the chanting that, ascending and descending order. Descending order is starting from aging and death. You try to analyze why it is aging and death. Right? Ascending order, you start from the ignorance. You chant and you analyze that the way it is happening. Okay, so starting from aging and death, that is the problem we can see, right? Aging and death. Then we analyze as per Buddha's teachings. Okay, why it is aging and death. That's why understanding first noble truth. What is the first noble truth? The birth is suffering, aging is suffering, and sickness is suffering, death is suffering, association with unwanted people and things suffering, separation from loved one is suffering, right? If somebody understood fully dukkha, arya satya, or the noble truth of sorrow, he will understand the reason for the suffering, then cessation of suffering, the path to follow. And all these things, when I explain that, there's a reason for this aging and death. What's the reason? Because of birth, right? If there's birth, the aging is coming to be. If there's no birth, is there any aging and death? No, right? Is the cessation of birth, is there any aging and death? No. So, and the way to remove aging and death, that is called 8 noble path or noble eightfold path. Samma ditti, samma sankappa, samma vacha, samma kammanta, samma ajīva, samma vāyāma, samma sati, samma samadhi. right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort,
Right effort.
right
Right
concentration,
mindfulness.
mindfulness, and right concentration.
Concentration. Yes.
Right. Again, this is the way that that you can meditate. And why it is birth? But why is the birth? What's the reason for? If there is an arranging of karma, the birth comes to be. Right. There is when if there are no arranging of karma, there's no birth. Right. The cessation of arranging of karma, the cessation of birth. Right. The way to seize the birth, Eight Noble Path. Right. The same thing here. Same way you have to see all these things. All right. Okay, so I summarized that one, and you can go through that. The sutta. Sutta is a little bit harder than that, right? So, and on the graphical representation, you have to develop a graphical representation in your mind, and go through the sutta and read the sutta, and and any questions you want to ask?
In next week meditation, can we have a guided meditation in this week?
We can have guided meditation. I have the small booklet. I prepared that. We can have guided meditation, but you have to understand the concept really well. We can do that in this class. We are not doing that the class during that meditation session. We don't, that day meditation retreat. We don't do that because most people don't understand concept. But we can do this one in this class. Right. So don't worry, because if you do not understand, this is the same concept, because this does not change like the software, right? So for example, if you want to, if you use that software, so you have to learn now those days, every 2 years, now every 6 months, they're changing everything. But Buddha's teaching does not change with the time, right? The 2,600 years, that because of aging of day, what's the reason for this one? Birth. When you think about after 2,500 years, why it is happening aging and death? Because of the birth. So therefore, that you can listen again and again these things. And learning the Buddha's teachings, that it is not like learning other subject. You are doing same thing again and again and again, right? It is not the school education. School education or university education, when you complete your first year, you don't see that notes, right? You have experience, right? So in the second year, you don't like to look at the first year notes, right? Or that if you go to higher classes, you don't like to see that the lower classes. But in this learning, not that way. So you have to do the same thing again and again until you go for the realization, right? So you listen to the same Dhamma talk, read the same sutta again and again and again, because when you read again and again, you will understand more and more. Then sometimes you will be surprised. You will be surprised that, oh, I didn't read this one earlier, right? I saw that new things, right? So this is the way of learning Dhamma. Therefore, don't worry if you don't understand. We are going to discuss this one again and again and again, right? When we are going to stop this one, even practicing meditation. When you're going to stop this one? When you decided not to come to monastery? Oh. Huh? After your death? When you are going to decide? So until you become enlightened, still you have to practice. And Buddha, that one day, he was in the shade of a tree and he was walking here and there. Some other two monks, they were inquisitive. They were hiding and seeing that what Buddha is saying, that walking. And Buddha saw that he asked that monk, okay, learn this one and practice. What is that? Avijja paccaya, because of the ignorance, that volitional formation, because of volitional formation, that consciousness. Likewise, that okay, chant this one, right? Even Buddha was chanting this one, right? Then, so you attain Parinibbana, you cannot do it anymore. Until then, we have to practice this one. Okay. Right. All right. by saying this one, and may all of us be fortunate to understand Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.